Caroleena. So this is going to be a tutorial for a behind the back toss. This is what it looks like. I featured it last night when I talked about learning to hoop behind the back. So being able to do this is predicated upon being able to have good back behind the back hooping where your plane is straight and close to your body. So you can hoop behind your back on your fingers, either with your thumb pointing up or with your thumb pointing down, or you can hoop behind your back by putting your whole hand in and taking your fingers out so now the hoop is spinning on your thumb. To do this, you want to take your hand out to the side and point your thumbs down. And then you're going to keep your hand at the side like it's against a wall and point your thumb back. So you'll notice that the hoop can spin on this thumb anywhere from very close to the fingers to close to the bend in the thumb to on the fat part of the tip of the thumb all the way out to, and it's getting dangerous here, the very tip of the thumb. So if you look at your thumb up close, it's cool because there's some lessons in that for how to hold your hoop. You have quite a bit of space here that your hoop can be on. The sweet spot is on this first phalange, and this is phalanges, and this is the second phalanges. It's flat, and then it comes to the bend of the finger, and it hits your thumb butt, which is the butt of the top phalange, the one with the fingernail that has a little fat part at the bottom of it. And you feel if you pull against that, the hoop doesn't want to go past it. So you can have some control of your thumb hooping with just the tiniest bend. But the cool part about that is that if you want to let the hoop go, all you've got to do is straighten your finger and it slides right off. Now, another thing about this, so that's the sweet spot for doing this toss. But if you know you're going to do this toss and you want to make sure that you've got a little extra room between your butt and your hoop as it flies by, you might want to let it come out just past the bend onto the fat part, onto the thumb butt, but not all the way to the tip where it's going to slide off. Right here, do it one circle and then straighten your thumb and let it fly off. So I know that's a lot of nuance, but it's just to tell you that you've got, just like you can hoop up and down your whole arm, you can hoop up and down your whole thumb. So it's just a matter of finding the sweet spots. And the sweet spot is at the bend of the thumb under the thumb butt. So, first thing to learn is how to hoop behind the body. I think that one of the easiest ways to get into this is from an infinity, because we're used to having an infinity as close to us in front and as close to us in back as they can be. So go into it from an infinity and you have all of your fingers in the hoop, and then just take your four fingers out of the hoop and let it spin on the hoop behind you. Practice letting it go up and down the hoop, up and down the thumb, and feel all those different places, and feel where it feels safest, and kind of hang on to it. So it's not going to go anywhere until you're ready to let it go. And then when you're ready to let it go, watch my thumb. It's going to come down towards the ground. And the hoop just slides right off of it. So that's the delivery. That's how you let go of the hoop. Your arm is not way back here. It's straight at your side. Your thumb is what's back there. Just far enough that it can clear your bottom and doink, come out and let the hoop go. So the next part of this is catching the hoop, which involves your other arm. So ideally it is open and just like it's against a wall. Only instead of having that thumb back, which would be in the way, you're sitting there waiting, and the hoop is going to come by, and you don't want to bend back too soon, because if you do, you're going to interrupt the hoop, and it's going to hit the ground. You've got to wait. So take a breath, and with your exhale, let it fly past your hand until it gets here. Then straighten up your fingertips and catch it. It's like a trust exercise. And what I have found that helps me is to try to get into a rhythm and give a whole count to the time that the hoop is in the air behind me, the time that I can't see it. So if it was, let me try to get into this real quick. And pairing it with my breathing, inhaling and exhaling at the place where I'm most afraid, which is letting go of the hoop. So, no, no, no. Yeah, I know that you keep these going. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I recommend learning it with your eyes closed. I don't know if you noticed I closed my eyes during that. I recommend learning it with your eyes closed because you can't see it anyway. You need to feel it. You need to put all of your attention on feeling it passing in your back body, not reaching for it. Your arm is straight. It goes up with your elbow straight all the way up, and it waits here in a straight line. And that's why your hoop is traveling the exact same distance and the exact same height from each other when you release it and when you catch it. So don't reach back. That's one of the ways we swat it. We're afraid we're going to miss it, so we reach for it. It's going to be flying really close to your arm and by, so you can't move your arm back or you're just going to mess it up. You just got to wait here and let it come by. I wish I was a little more flexy because then I could be like, yeah, and catch it as it comes by you. So the best way I can think of to teach you to do that is with a count. So I'll show you this from a couple of different directions and hopefully it will work. I have ceiling fans and stuff. Oops. So I hit my bottom. I took a second to regroup using all my fingers. Now I'm back on my thumb again. Now from this way. So I like to get into this from the infinity. You don't have to. You can go straight from the hooping behind the back. I'm trying not to be nervous about this pointing right at my camera. Ooh, okay. I sweated a little bit because I was nervous, but you see what I'm saying? So if you can learn to wait there, if you can learn to wait and then act, that pause and then act, even though every part of you, the moment we let our hoop go, every part of us goes, oh God, I got to grab my hoop. It's out of control. It may well be. When you're learning this, your hoop is going to fly all over the place. So I recommend learning it in a small place. My little place is tiny, and in some ways that's a blessing. It's made me learn how to deal with this pole, even though, and I have really low ceilings. I don't know if y'all can't see. There's a ceiling fan right here that I hit a second ago. So it's not a huge space, but in some ways it's been my guru. Alright, so stand up straight, because if your posture is not straight, if your knees are bent, or if you're leaning back, or anything, your hoop is going to end up coming to hit you. This is about straightening your posture so that you tighten your abdomen, tighten your bum, let your knees be just a little bit squishy, lift from the heart, lift your chin, lift the top of your head, and stretch out like you're hugging the world. It's kind of like the Origins of Man painting that you've seen that I think it was Leonardo da Vinci did. So this is your place, and oh well, I should have quit while I was ahead. Anyway, that's it. You just got to practice it. Give yourself permission to lose it a lot. It's easier to practice indoors than outdoors just because it doesn't go as far when you lose it. I hope this helps you learn a neat trick.